What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining up another episode of Verbal Garbage, coming at you hot and live. And we're all familiar with the guests at this point. We got Frannie back on the line. So, Frannie, what's going on tonight? How you doing?
I am good. I am good, Frank. And whenever I hear you say coming to you hot and live, I always want to add in and stinky, you know, like
Well,
because it's verbal garbage, right?
we could start.
Verbal
We could start
garbage.
messing with that. Hell yeah!
Yeah.
So
We've just got
I
it.
think
Yeah.
I figured we've been. I've had you on a couple times, and I just always enjoy the conversations and getting the guest on each week is a little bit strenuous, and I just like going over like topics and current events, and I feel like we have pretty good banter. So I'm gonna do the old share screen on Zoom. We'll go to a couple of the current events I pulled up on the internet for us to kind of peek at together and have you react and see kind of your reactions.
Let's see. Got to
Have
put my
you ever heard
glasses
of
on
Have you
here.
ever heard of the Liver King? First off,
No. What is that?
oh man, all right, this is gonna be even better. So there's a guy that's gotten really famous recently. I knew him from just being on Instagram and then seeing him on a podcast. And he's this guy that's like this huge jacked meathead that only eats like a raw meat diet, like literally just eats like there he is. You can see the picture of him, right?
He's very hunky.
Yeah, he's well, I wouldn't say hunky. He's just full of fucking juicy steroids, but he's pretty much got famous because he does like this ancestral lifestyle. And we'll see if I can play a video here. And he pretty much like just eats raw meat. Like,
He looks like a caveman.
took him enough
What is he
attempts.
hitting?
It's like a femur bone of some type of animal. Look at that.
Wow. He definitely looks like he has like a lot of testosterone going.
Oh yeah, and it's not all natural if you catch my drift. So the story that's going around now, like obviously he got famous, he's got like 4 million followers on TikTok and whatnot. But there was some guy that leaked emails. Supposedly they were going back, him and another guy were going back and forth about steroids and the cycles and the patterns and everything. And the only reason it's controversial is because he's been going on this whole time saying he's all natural and living the ancestral diet. So he's just been living a lie, and he's trying to build like a brand and a character. But if you're gonna do that, build on the foundation of a lie. I don't know if I can really get down with that. What are your thoughts on this? I know it's a lot to take in.
I'm very disappointed because as a person who likes to look for role models, like I like to look at famous role models and try to aspire to them a
Brendan
little bit.
Fraser. Yep.
Yeah, not anymore though, not anymore. But as somebody who does that, I would, if I was a guy, I think I would be pretty let down by this. I would end up trying to be like him, go to the butcher shop, get some raw meat, and then after you've gone through all of that raw meat and you're eating all of this liver and everything, you're kind of questioning yourself while you're doing it, but you're thinking, I'm going to look like that guy. And then you find out that that guy doesn't even look like that guy because of the raw meat. And you were like, why did I go through all that? Right. Like, I'd be pretty pissed off.
Yeah, I mean, let's address the first problem there is that if any males were looking at him as a role model, we got a real problem, right? I more so was looking at him as like a comedic figure. Like when he came on
Oh.
the podcast I was listening to, like he saw one guy wearing like thong sandals and was calling him subprimal, just like little things like that. So he was really living that ancestral brand.
Yeah.
He's just kind of coming out now and getting a little exposed because of, like I said, he built this whole brand and this persona and this character all on this natural thing with his bulging huge muscles and the big beard. And he's really eating the meat. It's not like it's CGI'd and he's not eating it, but like here's another little video before we move on just so you can kind of enjoy it. Oh,
Oh, that looks
God.
disgusting.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
God,
oh man.
that literally just
But
looks like a,
oh,
what does that even
he
look
does
like?
look like a lot of guys that I see on Match.com, though. Like, like not, I don't know how old he is, but he could pass as like a 50-some-year-old guy on my Match.com.
He's like one of those guys that's like, probably mid 30s, but looks a lot older. And wait till he gets
Yeah.
a couple more years down the road with the steroids starting to really show their wear and tear. And it's
Oh
It could
man.
get pretty dicey, you know. So another one I'd like to move on to, if you don't mind. Just kind of like I said, just go through a couple events, and I just want to make sure real quick that I have this on recording. I'm pretty sure I do. Yeah, I was gonna
And
say.
how is my voice sounds echoey? Do you hear an echo? Because it's recording on your side, right?
Yeah, it's recording on my side, but I don't hear an echo.
Okay, good. Okay, we're good, I think.
Yeah, trust me. I've been doing real quick. I've been doing a couple like back and forth with this guy. Lude presents. His name's Rocky. He's this dorky little dweeb, and we've been doing a couple
Uh-huh.
podcasts together. And you know, we're starting to do a little collaborations. And I told him we got to get you on for one too, and just us three shoot the
Oh,
shit.
that's awesome.
He's a lot of fun. I told him me and you were kind of going back and forth and just
Yeah.
experimenting, doing some stuff, and just having some fun. So
Yeah,
shout out to Rocky
for
and
sure.
yeah, we did an episode. You've heard of DB Cooper, right?
No.
Oh my
Who's
God,
that?
there's so many people that haven't heard of it. Real quick, so in 1971, I think it was in like Portland, Oregon, or somewhere in the Pacific Northwest, there was a skyjacker, right? And he pretty much went aboard a plane, and back then there wasn't much technology or anything involved. You would kind of just show a picture and say, "Hey, I'm getting on this plane." He pretty much held the plane for ransom, got $150,000, jumped out of the plane, and was never caught or saw again. And we
Wow.
had that guy Rocky. He had like an expert on of DB Cooper, who was on Netflix doing a documentary and stuff, and we were actually on interviewing him the other night, so it was pretty cool. But so check that
That
out.
is
That's going to be
that's
on his podcast called Lude Presents in a few weeks from now. So pretty excited about that. So the next one is I don't really watch this, but you know my way of staying connected to the current events is like just going on Yahoo every morning and just kind of browsing the trending topic and just seeing what's, you know what I mean. And the Good
yeah.
Morning America, the two co-hosts of that were really canoodling and getting cozy. Okay, so there's a lot of controversy about this. They've gotten taken off the air. I, for one, think this is kind of a load of crap. They were both recently separated before they supposedly really got serious with this. So it's just two adults having fun, happen to be working the same job. Franny, give us your thoughts.
It happens.
Don't
Not
shit
to
where you
me,
eat, right?
but I hear it happens.
Not to me.
But I liked that guy. Her ex-husband, he was on Melrose Place.
Oh, really? I didn't.
Why is she gonna ditch the Andrew Shue? Andrew Shue. Did
Well,
you what
maybe you
like
know she's
her but she's pretty hot, that lady. So
she's
she
definitely a looker, and you know maybe she was getting bored of this little. I don't know what this little shoe looks like, but her co-host TJ Holmes is got a beautiful chiseled jawline. He's a strong. I don't know if
yeah.
he's a black dude or if he's got some Latino in him. What do you know what he is?
I'm not sure,
Look at him.
but he
Yeah,
does look good looking.
he's got the piercing eyes. You could see, you know,
Yeah.
these two
And he looks
just
fun.
yeah. This looks like a good time, and just people want to have
Yeah.
fun, and you know they got their show canceled now. They're off the air. What did they do? What's the crime here? You know,
Yeah, I don't see a crime. If they have kids, though, that it's a little sad for the kids.
she's got a dog, as you can
Maybe
see here.
a dog. Yeah.
Perhaps a golden doodle.
Um,
You're the dog walker. What's the breed? Name that breed.
it's a doodle of some kind.
It's got to be a
I don't
golden,
think it's
right?
a golden
No, a
doodle
little
because it
small for the
looks too
golden doodle.
small,
Yep,
right? It
very
looks
good.
too little. But a doodle could be crossed with anything these
Give us more
days.
info on the dog.
Yeah, I don't know, but I feel bad for the dog now because mom and pops have split up, but he's got a new baby daddy, I guess, or
Doggy,
yeah,
yeah,
but
whatever you want to call that. Yeah, you can
but
tell the dog
Andrew
there.
Shue was always playing guys that were kind of like so downtrodden in the Melrose
I was
Place.
gonna say like the doormat, like getting walked over and getting replaced by some TV star looking
Yeah.
stud. Yep.
Yeah, and so I think that was happening on Melrose Place because I always remember him like he was with that Courtney. Is it no Courtney Thorne? Courtney Thorne? Is
Courtney
that her name?
Thorne,
Yeah.
Eliza
Let me see
Thornberry.
here.
You
On
wouldn't get
Melrose
that.
Place, Courtney Thorne Smith. Courtney Thorne Smith on
Okay.
Melrose Place, and she was always putting him down. So
Well, looks
maybe
like
he
she was
kind of
foreshadowing for his future life with his wife that
yeah.
sadly crumbled right in front of his eyes. Okay. Any last
poor
thoughts on
guy.
that?
I would date him if he came up on my Match.com.
Well, you
Yeah,
never know. Maybe he's gonna move to are you still in the
Ellingham,
Pacific
Washington.
Northwest or yep. Maybe he'll move to there and he'll be looking for a dog walker and an eligible bachelorette and the rest could be history. Could be the
Could
last
be,
conversation
could
I have
be.
with you. That
That's true.
Melrose Place
That,
money could be really showing you to new worlds that we've never thought were possible, you know? So any last
yeah,
thoughts
that
on that
you know,
that story before we move on?
I think whatever people want to do, just do it. I mean, you shouldn't stay in relationships that are not working for you.
Very good advice.
It does make me sad though if children are involved. I don't know if children are involved in this, but like it makes me sad. But otherwise, you do what you do. But like, I would hope though, if I get married, that it's for I want it to be forever.
It's
I
beautiful.
mean, yeah,
Now
because
recite.
I believe in like long term commitment, like for
Well
marriage.
said. I appreciate that. I
Yeah.
can't offer any sentiments on the topic, so we'll move on to something completely unrelated. Now I see you're sporting some glasses over there, young lady, and I some sporting some myself. I've long held out on the LASIK surgery as much as I've been tempted. Just kind of freaks me out to be honest. People touching your eyes and I don't know, you're not sedated. There's a lot, but I just saw an FDA draft came out the other day for the listeners only that LASIK patients should be warned of complications. Now, if I recall correctly, when I first browsed this, I think it was like double vision, and we can pull it up here. Franny, just give us your while I'm browsing, talk to us about the life as a glasses wearer. When did you start wearing glasses, and what are the challenges that you're faced with every day wearing glasses?
Well, I started wearing glasses. I probably when I was like 10 or 12 or something when I was a kid because I couldn't see the chalkboard at school. And
Yep,
it
squinting real
served me
hard, right?
well. I would get LASIK, but the thing is that LASIK has risks involved.
It sure does. Well, thank you
And
for bringing me to that because right here we're seeing that you know obviously we can get back to your risks in 1 second that you know of going into this, but I wasn't really aware of much risks during the operation or post operation, and now they're warning double vision, dry eyes, difficulty driving at night, and in rare cases persistent eye pain. What are your
yeah, that
thoughts?
wouldn't work for me. That wouldn't work for me because then my nighttime Uber Eats would be out.
Uh,
And I do Uber Eats late at night and I need
how
to be
late are
able
we
to see
talking?
until 4 a.m. sometimes.
Holy, what are people getting at 3 a.m., 2:30 a.m.? Taco Bell?
Ice cream, cookies, McDonald's,
Just
Fat
individual
Shack.
cookies?
They get like a thing of 6 or 12 cookies with ice cream. And there's a place called Fat
God.
Shack that goes sometimes till 3 a.m. sometimes, some days of the week. And
We really are going
yeah,
backwards in society, aren't we? This is.
yeah, but it's good for it's good
Oh no,
because
and
it
I'm
let, yeah,
please.
no. I mean, I don't approve of the overeating lifestyle, but I kind of like to make money off of and just relax during the overeating lifestyle because I drive in my car and I'm like chill and there's nobody else on the road
No,
and I can park anywhere. But,
what's your
you
sleep
know,
schedule like though? Is that really jacked up because of all that, or
well, what I do is in the morning, I start off at like 9. This is my typical day. Start off at 9 and I walk dogs until sometimes like 1,
steady
okay, in the afternoon.
clientele, steady stream of the
Uh,
same dogs, or
a whole bunch of different dogs.
come on?
Drive around town, dog to dog to dog.
Yep.
Okay. And in the Pacific Northwest, so in during rainstorms, everything, right? So I'm out walking dogs. And then I come home and I have like an afternoon siesta. And lately it's been watch a horror movie, drink a little bit of booze,
You're a little bit out
and
of
have
season
lunch.
there.
Yeah, I know. And and then what I do is I go for my sleep and then I wake up and it's like a little bit more dogs, maybe some cats, and then back out on the Uber Eats. So that's
Wow. And are you doing
yeah,
this
that's
like
my schedule.
6, 7 days a week? Or are you taking weekends off, or you got like a certain day you like to
I'm doing it seven
relax?
days a week. 7 days a week.
She's really grinding,
I know
guys, and
it.
she's still here podcasting. So, what are we at? We're at right now. It's like 5 o'clock your time. So you're gonna is a little siesta in store maybe after this little recording.
Actually, I already had my siesta
All right. Have
just
you ever
before
double
this.
dipped with the siestas?
I try not to, but sometimes I do.
Yeah. All
Sometimes,
right.
yes.
That's getting real
Yeah,
risky.
sometimes I do because sometimes I get really tired, right? And yeah, but I kind of enjoy it. You get into a rhythm, right? Like your days are pretty regimented, right? You got your
Yeah.
jujitsu
Well, not
and
not as much lately because work's been so freaking busy and crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely get back to that. It's just been like right now I'm in my brother's guest room on a futon, like trying to do these podcasts every night, but I can never get the lights working. Like now I'm just in a dark room with the little circular ring light. So hey, we're still
yeah,
producing, baby, right? We're still pushing through.
right. And well, for all your listeners know that you have survived a very bad hurricane. That was the center of the hurricane. Yeah, good on you, man. The center of the hurricane was in your hometown, right? Where you were
Yeah, it
living.
was literally directly the eye was right on me. So it was
Yeah, you took a direct hit, and so everything was destroyed, right?
it's yeah, I mean, I would go down to Fort Myers Beach if you guys are familiar with that for work, and I was just down there again today, and like we're slowly. All right, this is a perfect segue, honestly, because I wanted to get your opinion, and then this will be the last thing I do, and then we'll go over to you. But so we were going over to a marina that pretty much got completely destroyed because Fort Myers Beach got hit so bad, and you just go there and you see the wreckage, and it still doesn't look real. It's so hard to process, but there's a little situation going on down there, and I want to kind of pick your brain, and because it was such a crazy situation to me, and I'm just curious what your thoughts are and what. All right, so here we go. So the marina gets wiped out, right? And these technicians, mechanics, whatever you call them, they lose. It's a boat place where you got a certain amount of individuals working. They lose all their tools, their toolboxes, everything. So the shop decides that they're going to cover them for insurance. You know what I mean? They're going to give them a certain amount of money to replace all their tools, which is pretty rare in like a shop situation, I would think, where they would really take care of you like that.
Right.
So they have this situated, they're going back and forth with us. Me and my boss are giving us their purchase orders, what they're expecting, what their limits are, all that. So then another gentleman on their side kind of stepped in and was saying, but since we're sponsoring all this and paying for all the tools, he kind of wanted to have them sign a contract stating, because we're supplying and replacing your tools, that you should stay employed with us for X amount of years. Now, right away,
Oh,
I'm like, okay, this is a little weird because they already came into the job beforehand. You didn't provide the tools then. You didn't provide the tools while they were working there. Now, all of a sudden, a hurricane happens and they lose their tools. And granted, you didn't have to replace and buy them back. But if you don't, are you going to go and find random mechanics out there that are as good as these guys? Because I know them and they're very, very good at their job. So, what are your
yeah.
thoughts on that? Like my boss was thinking, he he thought it was a weird situation, but he thought maybe like 1 year equals 20% stake of a tool. So you work for the company for 3 years and you have 75% of the tools back, and then by the time 4 year, or excuse me, 20%. So 3 years would be 60%. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what are your
Now, was
thoughts on
this
that?
told to them early on in the
No, this was just brought to them like a couple days ago, like towards the end of this, right when we're getting ready to deliver, because we delivered like a third of the shipment today.
yeah.
All the tools and toolbox.
Well, I think it would be wrong if they said that they were going to cover the cost of the tools, and then all of a sudden a new stipulation comes in,
Yeah, I
right?
mean,
Like,
and
I mean, if they told them at first, right? Oh, we'll cover the cost of the tools, but this is what the stipulation is. If
right.
they said that right at the onset, before you ordered the tools and everything, then I'd be like, okay, well, maybe. And then you can say yes or no or whatever you're going to do, right? But if they agreed to it and then all of a sudden they add that in, that's kind of shady, in my opinion.
Yeah, I just thought it was like a really interesting situation, and I was like, granted, I could see both sides, but I'm still kind of like, what do you make of
Yeah.
that? So I was just kind of curious what your thoughts were on that. And it was something
Yeah.
I really wanted to talk about. Right when you said that, I was like, perfect segue.
As that's my opinion from somebody who knows nothing about tools and who
Oh,
owns no tools.
I've been selling them for a
So,
year, and I still don't know anything about them. So don't worry.
well, you know more than me anyway. You know more than me.
Probably.
But
All right. Well, that
yeah,
was kind of the bulk. I think I can pull it up real quick to see if there's anything else. Is that well, obviously the Brittany Griner swap, but I don't really need to. We don't need to get too much into that because
yeah,
I don't need to be
yeah.
getting.
And I don't even really know what to make of that personally. because it does seem wrong, but
well, it is
I don't
wrong.
know.
You
It's
know, from someone
yeah,
like me, I'm not one of these like old like Republicans who like thinks weed is like I smoke weed. I'm a huge
yeah,
pothead, but I'm like for her to go over there when she already played professionally overseas there and knew
yeah,
the, how illegal any kind of form of CBD, THC, anything, how illegal it is there,
right.
and then you're gonna go over there and bring it. Like I don't
And
know.
then to swap
Yeah,
an
I mean,
arms
it's
dealer for
just
her,
I don't
like she
pretend to.
better come back and be like on her hands and her knees, thank you, America, this is the best country in the
Yeah,
world when she
right.
gets back. But she doesn't have apparently she doesn't have a track record of being loving of the United States.
No, nope, not at
So
all.
she better, Brittany, if you're listening to this, you better turn a new leaf. Okay,
Oh,
this
good
is a
little pun
verbal
there.
garbage exclusive.
Yeah.
You better be the most patriotic American when you get back,
I was gonna say, don't you
because
dare try to sneak in the patriarch talk on here.
yeah, she better be happy when she gets back, because well, I don't know much about her, but I know she hates the US, or like I don't know, maybe I might be overblowing that, but she has had some negative things about the US. So when she gets back, she better be thankful, because it's an awesome country that will take your privileged ass and bring it back. And to think that they're trading an arms dealer, oh my
Yeah,
god, I mean,
it's
I would feel so much guilt. She better donate the rest of her life to service of the United States. She probably should join the army or something after
she
that.
definitely won't. And I guess real
She
quick,
won't.
that we'll be done with that. But for those that
Yeah.
don't know, Brittany Griner was a professional women's basketball player. She was playing overseas in Russia, I believe. She smuggled over like a weed pen, got caught with it, got locked up, and then the U.S. regime just did a swap today, a prisoner swap for a woman's basketball player for a Russian arms dealer who has got quite the resume. So, yeah,
Yeah, that's
to
there's
be
something
determined
wrong
to
there.
see how many people could be in jeopardy from this, But oh well, moving on.
Yeah.
This is a comedy podcast,
Yeah.
right?
That's right.
So, young
Well,
lady.
actually, my little bit is not that
What the
comical.
fuck? All right, well,
I know.
okay, we'll go. A bit's a bit, right?
Okay, well, I was listening to your podcast. So this is not as succinct as what you did, but I was just listening to your podcast where you had a couple on, right?
Oh,
And I
that's the
think
guy I was talking about, Rocky.
was
Yeah,
that Rocky?
yeah, that was
Yeah.
him.
Well, Rocky, I think is his podcast called Rabbit Hole.
Yes, yep.
And at first I thought, oh my God, that must be some sort of a kink podcast or something like that. I just had like this image of it being really dirty or something.
No, he's a
But what his
weirdo.
podcast, yeah, but it's like he looks at something and then it brings him down a rabbit hole when he like one thing leads to another, right?
Yeah, no,
I
he's
think.
got some good ideas.
Yeah. So I had a bit of a rabbit hole, okay?
All
When
right.
I was like Kanye or is Ye or whatever, he said all sorts of anti-Semitic crap.
Yep.
And Adidas has dropped him for sponsorship deals, right?
Yep. Cut the cord.
And and that brought me down a rabbit hole in that I started looking up Adidas, okay, dropped Kanye for being anti-Semitic. Did you have any idea how anti-Semitic the starting of Adidas was?
Frank, drop some knowledge
Yeah.
on us, Franny. Drop some knowledge.
Yeah. Well, Adidas, it comes from the name Adolf Dassler. If I'm saying it right, Adolf Dassler, and his brother Rudy. They were both Nazis, okay?
Wow.
And they had a falling out, and but they were both involved in the Nazi Party. So Adidas comes from Adi, which is short for Adolf, and Das, which is short for Dassler, okay? And they had a falling out. Both of them were involved in the Nazi Party during the war to different. They were both members of the Nazi Party to different degrees. And Rudolf Dassler, he took the name Ruda, which was his nickname, and he made a warring company against Adidas called Puma, Puma.
Wow.
So Yeah, I had no idea
Good
that
shit.
both of those shoe companies were derived from Nazis, and they were both warring brothers. And I read that they're actually buried at the same cemetery, but as far apart from each other at that cemetery as possible.
Hmm.
And they hated each other. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
That is
And so I
interesting.
went down like a little bit of a rabbit hole of looking at all the companies that have been involved in the Nazi party. And you probably heard about Alyssa Milano, right?
Oh,
She's this,
I was
yeah,
just thinking of this. Trading in her Tesla for a Volkswagen.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Because she thinks that Elon Musk is the picture of white supremacy. Okay, so she turns in her Tesla, and Volkswagen was definitely involved in the Nazi party. Okay, because I was looking at a list of all the
Amazing.
companies involved in the Nazi party, right?
The Hollywood elite,
And
huh?
so, right, but I mean, I don't remember seeing all the stuff about Kanye and then seeing Adidas being part of the Nazi party. But if you look into it, they were Nazis.
I had no idea. Good.
Yeah, I had
Excellent.
no idea that like Adidas is Adolf Dassler,
Awesome.
Adi Dassler. So Adi, yeah. So anyway,
No,
I thought that was interesting.
that's great.
So you got to be careful about who you boycott in order to make your point, because
Truly.
sometimes things are complicated, right?
Well, that's like brings me to like some of these environmentalists
Oops.
who are protesting by standing in the middle of the street blocking cars when I mean you're just letting more emissions into the air by doing that, right? By cars sitting in idle and just waiting for you, or these other vegans or environmentalists that I've seen going into art museums and gluing themselves the famous painting, like just misguided protesting, like you said, misguided boycotting.
Yeah. Well, and the people at the art galleries that they're gluing themselves to, the art gallery people, probably the most left wing liberal, climate loving,
Yeah,
climate pledging people you could ever
and
imagine.
you're taking it out on
Like,
them. Yeah,
right. I mean, I don't even know how that would make a
cannibalism, right?
point. They're
Well, that
like,
that
yeah.
was that was a great little bit and story there. I'm hoping you got at least one or two more. We got about 8 minutes left.
Oh my God, I wish I did.
I thought
Oh,
you said
that's
you were
so
going to
bad.
do something about the
I know,
Balenciaga
I know.
story.
I'm so bad. I'm so bad.
No, it's not a
But
big deal. I'm sure I can find
uh
something or we could just kind of recap the week of work. If you had any stories lately,
yeah.
that garbage dumpster guy you mentioned, maybe because
Oh man, the garbage
the
dumpster
Cookie
guy. The
Monster's not
garbage
there
dumpsters
anymore,
guy.
right?
Well, do you ever watch that or do you ever look at that Reddit that's called Am I the Asshole?
No, but I'll
Like
have
you
to check that
you
out.
present your story. It's like a subreddit. It's called Am I the
Oh,
Asshole?
I'm made for that. I think.
Yeah. And then people say you are the asshole, or they say everybody sucks here,
Oh,
or
I get
you
so
know,
offended.
yeah. But after thinking about that garbage dumpster guy, I'm kind of wondering if maybe I was part of an asshole too. Let me tell you,
Tell
like
us about it.
basically, well, just at night, okay, at night, what I do is I just kind of park anywhere. Like I just put on my four-way blinkers. And like I don't park right in the middle of the street, but like I park a little bit off the
These
street. I park in
fucking Canadian
anybody's.
drivers, man. I'll
I
tell you.
know. I just park anywhere, right? And so anyway, this college student tells me to come and bring her her cookies from Insomnia Cookies. So I'm like parked next to this dumpster at the university here at Western Washington University, and all of a sudden this guy comes out and he basically owns the dumpster, and he's like, you can't park here. And I was like, well, I'm just looking up some stuff and all that. And anyway, he was like, this is a place of business. You can't park here. And
What?
in my head, I was like, okay, well, I think this is a publicly funded university. So I own part of this dumpster that you're protecting. So I don't have to move. Like, so anyway, I didn't start yelling at him, but I did this passive aggressive thing where I was like, oh, okay, I'll move. And then I still keep on texting my customer and everything. And he's like freaking out and everything.
Oh
And
boy.
yeah, and I wish there was more to that story. And if I was really good at lying, I would add a little bit more to juice it up a little bit.
Yeah,
But
you gotta learn to
I
do a
got to
little of
spice
that
it up. Like, what
pizzazz.
do you think I could add to that? Like maybe then I punched him or something happened,
How about
or I
I
don't know.
how about I take over the story from here and let's just see how it goes and see what happens.
Okay.
All right, so the guy's sitting there yelling at me, telling me, "You really got to move. This is, a place of business." And I say, "Sir, just please, if you don't mind, I'm really in the middle of a customer interaction. Can I just finish this message?" So I just continue to keep texting. He's really asking me to move. So I put the car in drive. I slowly start moving up. And as I'm moving up, I'm talking to him, making sure everything's okay. And little do I know that he owns another dumpster right next to that dumpster. And in my misguided, distracted ways, I accidentally bump into said dumpster with my little shitty Kia. Then I get really mad. I jump out of my Kia while the car's still in drive, and I beat the shit out of the guy. And then I just come
Oh my
home.
God.
Yeah, that actually
Oh
just happened
God.
tonight.
Oh, that is so amazing. I love it. It kind of reminds me of like a dream I had about Donald Trump.
Oh boy.
Like, and I put this out on Facebook, and my parents said no more
Oh, I
Donald
bet
Trump
that
dreams.
that was a great idea.
I had this dream. Okay, tell me like if my parents are right for getting so upset about this. Okay, because I think they are right for getting up. But I had this dream that I was sitting on my front step back at home in Elliott Lake, Ontario, Canada, and I was making out with Donald Trump. Okay,
Oh my
I don't know why.
god.
Okay, and then all of a sudden there was this traffic jam. And all of a sudden he jumps up, and I'm like, Donald, where are you going? Right. And he jumps on the roof of a car and starts fighting a guy. Okay. And I was
Wow.
like, he's a bad boyfriend. He's a bad boyfriend. And
But
and
do
I
you
woke
do you
up
like the bad
extremely
boy?
disgusted. I woke up so disgusted. Like I was just like, yeah, I'm
How
just,
does that? Oh,
yeah.
so I thought you might have had like some kind of attraction to our boy Donnie, and then so you worked up and were just remorseful
I
and
don't know. It was a weird, strange experience. Yeah.
well, you are
Cause
one
like,
weird, strange
yeah,
lady.
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Trust me, I can relate. I don't
I
ever
can't
like.
explain it. I
I
can't
know I
explain it.
have dreams. I'm just.
But I
I
kept on
never.
putting that.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, no, I just got told to stop putting these dreams on Facebook, like by my parents.
Yeah. I mean, I think I
Because
would
I
agree.
wasn't saying that I endorsed the dream. Like I'm just saying that I had the dream. Right.
Yeah, just those social medias. I don't know what you make of them. Some people like use them for communication and staying in touch with friends and getting in touch with old friends, and some people like posting their everyday meals
Yeah.
and their everyday thoughts. And I feel like Facebook and Twitter are kind of that platform where you kind of go on and put your feelings out there. And if you don't want to read it or you don't want to see it, don't follow the people or don't go. Like I got tired of Facebook, so I went off there and I'm on Twitter and I just enjoy Twitter for like instant news on like the sports I follow and stuff like that. So it's I don't know. I feel like there's a good reason or a bad reason to enjoy social media these days. And the younger generation, I'm sure you could kind of attest to that. I feel a little bit bad for them that they prioritize it so much at every little function they go to. They got to document every minute that they're doing something, and the acceptance from other people their age. You constantly want to be getting likes on your pictures to feel like people think you're cool and you're popular. And I just think it's such a toxic road. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. I totally agree. I was walking around the university campus today, and everybody was on their phones. Like
Head
nobody was
down,
looking
right?
up.
No
Head
awareness. It's
down.
just crazy. Like,
It's I know. They look like zombies. Really.
and I don't get a firsthand view of
Like
that on a college campus around here, but you walk around like, you go into a Publix or anything, and everybody's just got their head down, and you don't like to think like worst case scenario, but you're just thinking sometimes like if someone were to come up and just like who knows anything, like I feel like you always got to kind
right.
of be on your toes, at least in Florida where there's just crazy people spouting off for no reason. Looking at road rage down here is just insane, and you're constantly seeing people cutting each other
Yeah.
off, flipping each other off. Do you get that vibe in the Pacific Northwest? Is it a little more mellow when people are driving, or
People are very mellow here driving. They
yeah,
always let you in. They very rarely honk.
man, I would
It's
love to do my job
uh
there. Driving my big truck, I'm constantly getting cut off.
yeah.
Everyone's freaking out, and they're behind me beeping at me. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, I'm driving 3 toolboxes in here in a giant ass truck. It's heavy as shit, and every turn you make, you're bumping and beeping, and it's just crazy. So, under a minute
Yeah,
left.
why do people get so upset?
I don't know. Everyone's in a rush to get to the next destination. I think it's that instant gratification, like we were just talking about with the likes and the 2-day shipping on Amazon and all that shit. So, under a minute here. Don't want to
Yeah.
get cut off, but not sure if we're gonna do like our own little separate thing or just have you on here once every couple weeks and I go on yours. But I had a great time breaking down the current events with you.
Yes.
Hope you enjoyed that.
I had a great time, and I love listening to your show,
Oh,
and
thank you so
rock
much.
on, man.
Oh yeah, well, you'll
All
be
right.
back soon if you don't mind, or I'll come on yours and let's do this pretty frequently, all right?
Yeah. All right. Sounds good, Frank. Have a good night.
You too, Franny. Peace.